Young Life is a relational ministry where we are going into schools in our area to meet students and build relationships with them with the hope of sharing the gospel with them.
The mission statement of Young Life is to introduce adolescents to Jesus and help them grow in their faith. And we do that through relationships.
Our volunteer leaders are going into the school and into the places where kids are, and into the spaces that other people aren't going or don't want to go. That means that they are going to sporting events or concerts or plays or whatever events are happening at the school, and really spending time building those relationships on what we would call students' turf, whether that's at the school or in the community.
Club is chaos, but fun, controlled, high energy. If there are kids who, know Jesus, they can bring their friends who maybe have never heard anything about God before, and it's not an intimidating place for them to show up at.
Young Life Club really is that party with a purpose, and it ends with a verbal proclamation of the gospel through the club talk. And that is a leader getting up in front of all of these students that they know and have built relationships with and sharing the gospel of Jesus, but sharing it in language that kids understand. Young Life Camp is the best week of your life. It is you getting to go with your friends and leaders who you've been in Young Life with all year, and you're going to a resort-style facility. It is definitely not a tent in the woods. It is a fabulous property that really reflects the perfection of Jesus. One of my favorite things about camp is that we do go with students. So students stay with their leaders from home the whole time that they're at camp, which means that they get to come home with them as well.
When I saw both of my leaders, I was honestly pretty intimidated because they looked really cool. They were like these college girls or just out of college, and I was like, they're so cool. So I was kind of nervous to talk to them at first. I was like, they're not gonna want to talk to this high school girl. They reached out to me and was like, hey, I want to go to dinner with you. I want to hang out. And that was just the most welcoming I've ever felt. And I felt God was there so abundantly because I'd been praying and asking for relationships that would just grow my faith with Him. And when they reached out to me and wanted to hang out with me, I was just beyond excited.
So these wonderful relationships and experiences that they have at camp, they don't just stay at camp. They get to come home and be part of their day-to-day lives. I think that's really where the relational aspect of Young Life shows through the most, is that they don't go to camp, meet these people, and leave them there. They come home, they get to participate in club and campaigners with them all year.
Campaigners has become a really consistent group of friends that I feel super comfortable around, and then when my leaders ask questions, I feel really comfortable to answer them, and even if I'm wrong, I know that they'll point me in the right direction. I think it's also helped me wonder a lot about what scripture says, and kind of helped me realize it's okay to ask questions and dig for those answers more, because that's what we do.
It's such a strong friend group of everyone that's there, and it's so much fun to be a part of. Even with going in with no expectations, it definitely exceeded everything.
Sometimes when a kid has chosen to follow Jesus or has an interest in learning more what it could look like for their life, to know Jesus intimately, or maybe they grew up in church and Jesus is already someone that they know, Campaigners is a place where we invite them to come. It's lower energy, it's small group style, and they sit with their leader and friends from their school, and they really unpack what it's like to live their life for Jesus and apply that at their school, a place where they really can share love and truth with their classmates and learn what it's like to serve with their lives and get to know more about who Jesus is in a personal way.
Young Life has been in South Charlotte for almost 70 years. In that time, we've grown to have 68 Young Life leaders, and we're serving 14 schools through Wildlife, Young Life, and Capernaum Ministries. Because we've been here for 70 years, that means that generations have been impacted. We have kids in clubs today whose grandparents went to Young Life clubs in this area a long time ago. That just goes to show how impactful this ministry really can be and the power of the gospel working through Young Life.